Okay, solve the equation. We have 9 times the expression x minus 3, and then the x minus 3, the whole expression is raised to the second power, plus 4 equals 31. So x is to the second, so it has two answers, but we don't really know at this point what other x's there might be. Like, is there x first? Okay. Don't really know that because we have the parentheses. Now, what I usually do with the parentheses is distribute, but you see with this second power here, you can't. The distribution is blocked. Okay? So you're going to replace that x minus 3 with a new variable, and that variable is going to be capital H. So you're going to have 9 times capital H, and that's going to be to the second power, and then plus the 4 equals the 31. Okay, now when you bring in h, when you replace an expression with a new variable, you need to remember to bring back the old expression. Now bear with me here. You're going to make a table, and you're going to put x minus 3 on each side. Now I'll explain why it has to be on why it has to be twice here in a bit. Now you're going to solve for the h, okay, using linear properties followed by a square root. Okay, so linear properties, you look at the operation, you got times a 2 power plus 4. So you're going to highlight the times. You're going to take out your plus 4 with a minus 4, and that takes the set side to 27. So you have 9 times h to the second power. Then we get rid of the times 9 with a divide by 9, and h to the second power equals 3. Now that's linear properties. Now we have to use a square root to get rid of the second power. So h could be positive or negative whenever we square root, and we've talked about that before. And then the square root of the number 3 is 1.73. So you can have positive 1.73 and negative 1.73, because remember, h is actually the expression x minus 3. Okay, I just wrote a simple equation, but now I bring back the x minus 3, and I have the positive and the negative, so that's why I do it separately. Then you just solve it. You add 3, and x is 4.73. Then you add 3, and then negative 1.73 plus 3 is 1.27. Okay. 4 times the expression x minus 2 to the second equals 16. Okay. All right, so you need to replace, so again, you have two answers. We know this, okay? And you can't distribute. The distribution is blocked with that power. So you need to remove the expression from the problem and replace it with h. So we have 4 times a variable h to the second power equals 16. Then after that has been taken care of, you need to draw this so you remember it and don't forget it. You put x minus 2 on each side. And don't forget to do this, because when you solve for h, that's not the answer to the equation, to your variable in the original problem. So you got times, so you go right to division. And that takes you to 4. H to the second power equals 4. Then we find the square root of the number 4. Now remember, square roots can be positive or negative. That's 2. Remember, these are not your answers. You need to bring positive 2 over here and then negative 2. Okay, then plus 2, x would equal 4. Then plus 2, negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So 4 and 0. Okay, 7 times x minus 3 to the second power minus 3 equals 11. So x has two answers because it's to the second. Now, the second also blocks you from being able to use the distributive property. Blocked. Okay, so you're going to replace that with a variable. So 7 times h to the second power minus 3 equals 11, okay? So h times 7, second power, minus 3 equals 11. And then don't forget that once you solve for h, that's fine, but then you have to bring back the original expression, x minus 3. So again, to solve for the h, you use linear properties, followed by a square root, because that variable is to the second. So you add 3, that's 14. Then you divide by your 7, that's 2. So square root of 2, well, it could be positive or negative. It's not 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Square root of 2 is irrational, 1.41. Remember, those aren't your answers because you still need to solve for x, but you just got there in a better position, 1.41, negative 1.41. So plus 3, that's going to be 4.41. Plus 3, so 4.41 is my first answer. Negative 1.41 plus 3 is 1.59. Okay, then the last problem. Now this time I don't have the second, that's scribbled out, okay, I didn't want that there. So there's one answer, so now you're allowed to go ahead and distribute, okay? 8 times x and 8 times 4. So the distribution is not blocked by the exponent, by the power here. Okay, so we got 78, and I got plus, and I've got 8x and 32. Then minus 10. Okay, now we just use linear properties to get the x by itself. We don't do the square root though, so x is multiplied by 8. Now you can either positive 32 and a negative 10. Now you can either add those right now and then move whatever that is out, or you can just take them out one by one. It's up to you. Either way works. Okay, it's going to be 88 minus 32 is going to be 56. And you divide by 8 on both sides and you get 7.